Before I start this video, I just want to say that I've got absolutely nothing to sell you. I make these videos because I enjoy putting out the content. There may be a few links in the description of some tools we use for some affiliate codes, but that is just about it. All I'm trying to do is gain my social profile. I'm not trying to sell a course or do anything like that. It's just information and just trying to build my my team of people who I talk to. And I always find it's good to interact with other sellers and kind of share facts on how we're doing things well and things that are going bad. It's always better to know a few more people, and these videos really help with that. So in this video we're going to be looking at what not to sell on Amazon. I'm going to be going into a product that we bought a few months ago where the stats looked really good. This was back when we first started selling on Amazon. We didn't really understand what a lot of the numbers meant. I'm going to be diving into the screen in a minute here and showing you, but just to give you a summary, we're going to be looking at the chart data, we're going to be looking at how I interpreted it at the time, and now we're going to be looking at it or in what the numbers are showing at the moment. And had I known what I know now, would I have bought the product, or would I have kind of left it and said it's not really worth our time? We're going to be looking at the fact that the listing's got variations, and I didn't understand how that worked, and I can go into a brief description on how the variation listings work as well. And we're going to be having a general chat about kind of things not to do at the start of your business that can hindrance your growth or cash flow. So I've just jumped into the screen here, and you can see that we're going to be looking at some henna powder here, and you're probably looking at the statistics and going, oh my god, that looks terrible. But all I can say is it didn't look like that at the time of purchasing, and I'm going to go through and how we interpreted the data at the time of purchasing this product. And we did purchase this product about 3 months ago. We bought it from a wholesaler, a UK wholesaler, and we thought it was going to be a good seller. We did have a lack of information, we had a lack of experience, which led to us buying this product, and now we're stuck with about 30 units that are really slowly selling for a loss on Amazon. So like you can see, it's some henna powder. The first thing you're going to notice is that this is a variation listing. There is 2 variations here, and this brings us on to the first problem, and probably the oversight by us, is we assumed, and I say assumed because you should never assume, and that was our mistake, that when it shows here on the estimated sales, this is per variation, and this is just not true. The 10 sales is for the listing, and the listing includes both variations. So one way you can see how many sales the product gets is, I've actually shown it through in another video, so I'm not going to show it through here, but you can scroll down all the way to the bottom to the keeper and then look at the reviews percentages based on the color, and that will give you a rough idea of how much percentage each variation gets. So that's the first oversight by us. Obviously we thought this was going to get, I'm not sure how many sales it said at the time, I assume it was about 30. We thought this was going to get 30 sales, it's going to be great, when realistically this is probably, the brown one's probably the more popular color, and ours probably only gets 1 or 2 sales a month. So that's the first oversight by us. Now the second oversight here is obviously the fact that it does only get 30 sales a month. We shouldn't have ordered so many of them, we shouldn't have ordered 30 units. So when a lot of people think, oh, 30 sales a month, you're only going to get, if you're lucky, 50% of those sales, because there's going to be other sellers in that month competing with your price, dropping your price or selling it cheaper than you. So you should always assume that you're going to get 50% or less than the estimated sales, and the sales is just an estimate as well, so it can also get more or less sales than what it says in the seller amp. Obviously we thought it got 30 sales, we bought 30 units. Huge mistake, and you definitely shouldn't do that at the start. It's a waste of money. You should always buy 1 or 2 units, especially if it's from retail, buy 1 or 2 units. If it's from wholesale and you've got a minimum order, it's a bit of difference. But definitely don't buy the amount that it says it's got in the monthly estimated sales unless you've already had sales history of that product and know it's going to sell for a fact. Now if we scroll down here and look at the chart data, this is what we were looking at when we first bought it. So if we go back kind of a couple months, we'll go back to September, probably when we bought the product, you can see that it was selling for £4.14. Now you can probably look at this chart data and say, well, come on, there's no way you would have assumed that the price would have dipped randomly like that, given on the history. But you've got to take into account that we're only looking at 3 months here. So if you're looking at the 3-month statistics, you'd say, yeah, this is probably a good price. £4.14 looks solid when you bought it. But then if we change it to a year, you can see that this price is incredibly unstable. It has been dropped by Amazon at points, and that this £4.14 was actually a high. So we should have assumed that it would sell anywhere between £7, and you can see here some more Amazon sales and some FBM sales, £9 there. So this £4.14 was massively dramatic. and we definitely shouldn't have bought it at that price. So it is always worth having a look, using the 3 month as your start point, but also having a look at the year just to make sure that the sales aren't too erratic, because if they are, then it's going to cause a huge problem. So it's always good to double check the data. And so this is a common theme with new sellers. We see it a lot, that people kind of buy stuff that they shouldn't. Another few tips on stuff that we haven't bought but we definitely could have, and we know other people that have made the same mistake, is seasonal items. Now, seasonal items can be really good, but they can also be really bad. You've got to imagine, if you don't sell those seasonal items, say if you buy a Christmas item or advent calendars at Christmas, send them into the FBA warehouse. If you don't sell them at Christmas, you've got to wait an entire year to sell that stock, and you're going to be paying storage fees on all those items for an entire year. Now, we know people that were selling Christmas items last year, and now they've had to wait an entire year to sell those Christmas items. Now, I would say avoid it, especially if you're starting, you've not got the capital, you don't want to waste that money and have it sit there in a warehouse for a year when you can buy other products, then you can shift them a lot faster. So I would say definitely avoid that. But when it comes to this henna powder, I think it's very clear that we shouldn't have bought this product. You can see all the mistakes that we've kind of made and how to avoid them. And if you can recognize these mistakes, hopefully then you won't make the same mistakes, and hopefully this video helps you a little bit. So that's it for today. I'm going to try and upload a little bit more. If you did enjoy this video, then give us a thumbs up. We have got a Facebook group in the description, and all of the tools that we use, like Seller Amp and Seller Toolkit, are also in the description. Just remember, I'm not selling anything, I'm not selling a course. The affiliate links in the description are the only things we got, and the Facebook group is free, and it's just full of a load of free information, people chatting to each other, so feel free to join in there. But I'll see you in the next video.